protect your business from the fastest growing crime of the 21st century. Find out here. You're watching Technology Review. Hello and welcome to another episode of Technology Review for November 3rd, 2017. I'm your host, Mac Jackson Jr. Technology Review is a show that helps educate and promote cybersecurity awareness for individuals and for business owners. That's right, cybersecurity awareness. Every 2 seconds, someone has their identity stolen by a cyber thief. And did you know that over 16 million and growing new victims of identity theft are reported to law enforcement every year? According to the U.S. Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission, identity theft is the fastest growing crime of the 21st century. Individuals and businesses of all kinds are being hacked across the country and across the world. You may have heard of the latest cyber attack with Equifax. It may have affected your credit information. This show will give you tips and techniques on how you can mitigate the damage of identity theft and fraud. Hi, my name is Mac Jackson Jr. I'm a cybersecurity professional. My background is in law, business consulting, programming, and I work with lots of companies, Fortune 500 businesses, to help maintain and mitigate the damages of identity theft and cybercrimes. I want to take the time right now to thank our listeners and our viewers for watching our show. We're here every Friday at 3 p.m. on WCOBM.tv. If you happen to miss one of our shows, please feel free to log into my website, MacJacksonJr.com, and definitely take a look at our on-demand version of our show. I'd like to give a shout out now to some of our viewers and listeners. It includes Dennis, Dacina, Laureen, Martina, Bernard, let's see, Koval, Amber, and the Patterson. That's time, the Patterson family. Hey, thanks guys for your emails being a part of our show. We appreciate that. We're again every Friday here in Las Vegas, WCOBM.tv. Again, you can go to my website, MacJacksonJr.com, or you can go to WCOBM.tv/Technology Review TV to see some of our on-demand versions of our show. And those of you who are looking to be a part of our viewing audience and have your products reach our demographics, well, you can do that as well. Become a sponsor of Technology Review by calling our numbers at 702-868-0808. That's 702-868-0808. And we'd like to thank some of our awesome sponsors that we have part of our team here of sponsors. They include Martin Harris Construction here in Las Vegas, Turin Consulting Group. We have InSync out of Washington State. There's Nevada Bankers Association, CipherLock, and Canon USA. Thank you again by being a part of our sponsors, being part of our show. Really appreciate it. Here every Friday, 3 p.m. WCOBM.tv. I also would like to invite you to take a look at my book that I have taking pre-orders for now. I have a book out called How to Protect Your Family from Identity Theft and Fraud. This book is chock full of information and stories of individual families like yours that have gone through identity theft, some of the steps they've taken, and what they have done when they've noticed there was identity theft affecting themselves and their family. Could have been from their business or individually. Going into make a simple transaction at a store has caused their identity to be stolen by cyber hackers, and what they've undertaken in order to get their identity back into its position, at least monitoring it, because once it's out there, folks, it's out there. It's like when we tell people, be careful taking selfies and photos of yourselves. Once you get out on the internet, they're out there forever. Same thing now, folks, with our personal identifying information. Once we get it exposed, or once it is compromised by a thief, it is out there, and we must do what we can do to monitor it. On this week's show, we're going to talk about understanding identity theft. In our Business Spotlight segment, I have a guest here today to talk about Bitcoin and a company called USI Tech. The gentleman's name, he's here every month in our show, Vernon Dixon. Vernon Dixon will be here in our second segment to talk about Bitcoin and your investment, your involvement, and how you can jump on the bandwagon now. He has an announcement to make of how high Bitcoin is. So between now and this next segment, take a look at it, see how high Bitcoin is as of today. You'll be very surprised. In new tech gadgets, we talk about apps you should have on your smart device to protect you from identity theft and fraud. And in our green energy technology. We talk about e-vehicles, electric cars, and of course I always mention about Tesla and IoT, the Internet of Things. So to get us started, again, we're going to take it to the point of always mentioning this because we're getting some emails on this Equifax data breach. Now, several months ago, we introduced this breach here in our show as it was broadcast worldwide throughout all the media, that Equifax had a data breach that happened between mid-May and July 29th of this year. Now, that's bad enough, but it gets worse. The people within Equifax, the human element, folks, and that's why we stress the human element of a data breach is something that we can rectify with training, proper training. Within Equifax, 3 of their executives purchased or sold, that is, stock valued at $1.8 million. That's been investigated right now. Why they did this, was it connected to this breach that affected Equifax. Also, it's been linked to an employee, allegedly, that said that a patch wasn't installed properly, which caused the breach. So that's number 2. And number 3, there were warning signs from a third-party organization that notified Equifax that that their company could be vulnerable to a breach, and they were warned about it and didn't do anything about it, according to this latest investigation. So that's pretty serious, folks. Equifax is one of the 3 largest credit reporting agencies in our country today, acquiring all kinds of personal identifiable information for each of us when we make a purchase for a home or school, loan, credit card, any of this information. Now insurance as well. So, and employment. So this is very, very important. These companies must maintain a posture of being protecting, or they have a duty, that's the correct term, they have a duty, these credit reporting agencies, a duty to protect our data, because they are taking on a responsibility of saving, storing, and tracking and transporting our personal identifying information. These companies have a duty to protect this information, and we're assuming that everything is going correctly, but when things like this happen, there should be a foreseeability of what should we do if it does happen. And taking with a month and a half to let us know about it is terrible, but having executives selling stock and then being notified of vulnerabilities, not doing anything about it, is pretty serious issues. So these are some of the things that Equifax is going through, and they need to come up with answers and let us know about it. So what can you do? As an individual, you should make sure that your credit accounts are frozen, but also look at the position you're in right now. Are you in the middle of getting a loan on something? If so, you need to really monitor your information carefully. Use your smart devices like we do our social media and check your bank statements, your insurance statements, all points of information that has your personal identifiable records stored, like your health records, like your insurance claims, your insurance forms. Make sure that they are up to date and they are correct. And not just yourself, your family. Check the credit reports every quarter. Run a credit report and check yourself, see what's on it. That was one of the best ways that you could do to protect yourself. Others would be to take a look at my book. Again, we talk about stories like this, so we're going to get this Equifax also as a part of our book as well. So definitely take a look at my book as well. Go to my website. It's at macjacksonjr.com. The book sells for $19.95. You click on the pre-order for it, and we will set you up with a pre-order. You order it today, and we'll get it shipped to you here when the book comes out, and hopefully within the next 60 days or so, we should have it out. But definitely be a part of our Protection Connection community, folks. Getting this information out to the public is very, very important. So to find more information about my company, you could find me on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. There's Facebook and YouTube. You'll find videos and information about cybersecurity, identity theft and fraud, and other information that could be very pertinent to your organization. What we do on this show is talk about ways to improve your cybersecurity awareness posture. I provide lunch and learns here locally in Las Vegas to the business owners, where I give a lecture on what you could do to protect your company from the damages of identity theft and cybercrime. So definitely go to my website, find out when the next event will be, and sign your company up. It should be something that you would definitely learn a lot about, to be able to be in a network group of other business professionals and talk with law enforcement. Sometimes we have them as speakers that come in and speak to us as well, letting us know what law enforcement is doing in our Vegas community regarding cybercrimes and identity theft. So these are some of the things we have involved for you folks. We definitely appreciate your efforts to being part of our organization and getting this message out. That's very, very important. We get this message out to the public and to the community. And you know what I've said all the time on the show for the last 3 years, our biggest defense against identity theft is education. So folks, stay tuned. We have lots more to talk to you about here on Technology Review. We'll be right back after these messages.